Good morning, friends. This is Dr. Jayashree Joshi, and today we will be discussing something about restorative materials, which is one of the very important topics in dental materials. Now, basically, restorative materials means the materials which are used for restoration purpose. Now, what do you mean by restoration? Now, restoration basically is made up of two words, that is re and store. That means you are restoring something which has been lost. So, restoration means re-establishing the thing which has been lost. That is a restoration. Now, restoration means what you are exactly doing. Restoration means reconstructing lost tooth structure. If a portion of the tooth is lost, then you can restore that lost tooth structure. Now, whenever we restore the lost tooth structure, we not only restore it, but we try to restore the lost tooth form or tooth anatomy. Now, by doing so, we are restoring the lost tooth function also. For example, in case of posterior tooth, if the cavity is there and if you restore it, then your mastication will be improved. Then it also restores aesthetics. If anterior teeth are fractured, it doesn't look good. So after restoration, the aesthetics will be improved. Similarly, if the front teeth are missing, then phonetics will be affected, the speech will be affected. So by means of restoration, you are restoring the phonetics also. And one of the last but the most important thing is you are restoring the relationship with the adjacent or opposing teeth. Now suppose in case of first molar, if it is badly carious, if it is badly broken down, and if you don't restore it, then the opposing tooth starts supraerupting or the adjacent teeth will start drifting either mesially or distally. So basically restoration means restoring the lost tooth structure, restoring the lost tooth anatomy, restoring the lost tooth function, aesthetics, phonetics and relationship with the adjacent tooth. Now in dentistry, restoration is basically carried out for loss of tooth structure, that is the tooth is there but some part of the tooth has been lost. Then loss of complete tooth or teeth. If few teeth are missing or avils, then those teeth also can be restored. Then loss of any maxillofacial structure, not only teeth but the related structure are missing, maybe because of disease or trauma. For example, some part of the ear, that is earlobe is missing or eyeball is missing, then in that cases that also can be restored by means of restorative materials. Now restoration is not only required for loss, but discoloration of the tooth is also one of the most important indication for restoration. And spacing, that is sometimes spacing is present in the anterior teeth and it can be also reduced or the aesthetic can be improved by restoration. So in dentistry, basically the restoration is carried out for loss of tooth structure, loss of complete tooth or teeth, any maxillofacial structure, discoloration of the tooth or spacing. Now in this lecture, the discussion will be on the restorative materials for loss of tooth structure, then as a preventive measure and for the discoloration of the tooth. Now first we will discuss what are the different reasons for the loss of tooth structure. Now the commonest reason for the loss of tooth structure is dental caries. If not treated, then definitely it results into the loss of tooth structure. Second important reason is fractured tooth or attrition of the teeth. The reasons are various, but this also results into loss of tooth structure. Then cervical abrasion, discoloration of the teeth. Then spacing. Now here you can see the spacing in the anterior teeth. Now this spacing, it affects the aesthetic of the patient. Now in such cases, if you restore the incisors, then definitely the spacing will be reduced and the aesthetic will be improved. Now this is one more indication for the restoration, that is pit and fissure sealant. Now pits are the pinpoint depressions and fissures are the linear depressions which are present on the occlusal surface of the posterior teeth. Now these are always present, but sometimes they are very deep. Now in cases of deep pits and fissures, they usually invite food to lodge in that particular area, which results into dental caries. So if you detect deep pits and fissures in young molars, then it can be sealed. There is no cavity, but the pits and fissures are deep, so you can seal those deep pits and fissures, and thus you can prevent the future caries. So here the restorative material will act as a preventive material. Now before proceeding further, first we will see the structure of the tooth, how the caries progresses, and the classification of cavities, as it influences the selection of restorative materials. Now first is the structure of the tooth. Now every one of us is aware that the outermost layer of the tooth is enamel, followed by dentine, and the innermost layer is pulp, which contains nerves and blood vessels which nourishes the tooth. The outermost layer of the root is cementum. Now how the caries progresses. Now usually the caries starts or attacks the enamel. If not treated, it progresses to dentine. If not treated, then it enters or approaches the pulp. If again not treated, it will infect the pulp, and the infection will set in the periapical region. Now why this progress of caries is important? Because at each and every stage the treatment modality is different, as well as the material of choice will be different. So structure of the tooth as well as progress of the caries is very, very important in selection of restorative material. Now classification of cavities. G.V. Black has given a classification which says class 1 is a cavity which usually involves the occlusal surface of the posterior teeth, which is also called as pit and fissure cavity. Sometimes it involves one of the facial surfaces or both the facial surfaces, then it is called as class 1 compound. Now when it involves one or both the proximal surfaces, then it is called as class 2. So basically class 1 and class 2 cavities are restricted to posterior teeth. Now coming to class 3, that is the proximal cavity or the proximal caries in the anterior teeth, that is central incisor, lateral incisor and canine. It is restricted to proximal surface, not involve the incisor edge, that is class 3. If not treated in time, then it will involve the incisor edge also, and then it becomes class 4. So class 4 is proximal of the anterior teeth, which involves the incisor edge. Class 5 is the cavity which is present on the facial surface of any tooth, maybe it is anterior or posterior. Facial surface means either labial, lingual, buccal or palatal. So facial surfaces in the cervical third area of any tooth, that is class 5. Then there is one more cavity which is class 6, that is the cavity which occurs on the unusual surfaces of the tooth. Now for example, tip of the cusp. It is a most unusual area where the decay can start. But sometimes you find caries on the tip of the cusp. So that becomes your class 6. So this is the classification which is given by G.V. Black. Now why this is important? Because each and every type of the cavity will require different materials. The anterior cavities will require, that is class 3, class 4. We select different material. For posterior occlusal surfaces, small cavities, we prefer different material. For class 2, we have to go for more stronger material. So material of the choice will mainly dependent on the classification of cavities. Now coming to the classification of restorative materials. Now restorative material is a very big group of materials under which n number of materials comes. So according to the nature of materials, materials are classified into two groups, that is metallic and non-metallic. Now metallic includes silver amalgam, then gold alloys, base metal alloys, then pure gold. And non-metallic includes composite resin, ceramic, then dental cements. So all those comes under non-metallic. Now, according to the lifespan in the oral cavity, that is how long the material stays in the oral cavity, the materials are classified into three groups, that is temporary. Temporary means for a shorter period of time. Permanent doesn't mean permanently, lifelong, but it means for a longer period of time. And there is one more group of materials that is called as intermediate materials, whose lifespan in the oral cavity is in between temporary and permanent. So according to the lifespan in the oral cavity, the restorative materials are classified as temporary, permanent and intermediate. Then according to the tooth color, whether it matches with the tooth color or not, depending on that, the materials are classified as tooth colored restorative materials and non-tooth colored restorative materials. Now tooth colored restorative material basically are silicate cement, glass ionomer cement, composite resins, ceramic, and rest of the materials comes under the non-tooth colored group. Now according to the placement in the cavity, the materials are classified as direct restorative materials and indirect restorative material. Now usually the materials are placed in soft condition inside the oral cavity and there it hardens, or sometimes the materials are placed in the solid condition itself in the oral cavity. Now for example, silver amalgam. When you mix silver alloy and mercury with each other, you get a plastic mass which can be easily condensable in the oral cavity. After condensation, the material sets inside the oral cavity. So you are placing the material directly inside the oral cavity. So it is a direct type of restorative material. Now some materials cannot be placed inside the oral cavity in soft condition. For example, if you are preparing a metallic inlay. Now metallic inlays are made up of casting base metal alloys. Now these alloys basically have melting temperature of around 700 to 800 degrees centigrade, maybe more than that. Now in that condition, in that molten state, you cannot place the alloy inside the oral cavity. So you need to fabricate such restorations outside the oral cavity. So the molten metal is solidified outside the oral cavity, and once it is solidified after finishing and polishing, then it is placed inside the oral cavity with the help of adhesive materials such as luting cements. So such restorative materials are called as indirect restorative materials. So in short, the materials by which the restorations are fabricated outside the oral cavity and then cemented inside the oral cavity are called as indirect type of restorative materials. Now according to solidification, as I told you, the material needs to be placed in the soft condition, there it sets or hardens. So depending on that, the materials are classified as the materials which sets or solidifies by simple acid-base reaction. Mainly all the dental cements are solidified by chemical reaction. Then second group is polymerizing reaction, that is there are certain materials which hardens by polymerization reaction, for example your resins, composite resins or restorative resins. And third is solidification of molten alloy or casting, that is already I have told you in indirect restorations. So these are the materials according to the solidification. So these are the different ways by which we can classify restorative materials. So what we have seen today is the definition of restoration. So restoration means restoring or reconstructing lost tooth structure. It also restores lost tooth form, tooth function and relationship with the adjacent or opposing tooth. It improves aesthetics as well as phonetics. Now we have also seen the structure of the tooth, we have seen the progress of the cavity, then we have seen different types or the classification of cavities and the different ways of classifying restorative materials. Now, what is the applied aspect? Now, there are many factors which influences the selection of the restorative material. The patient has come to your clinic and now you have to select the material. So what are the different factors we usually consider is the age of the patient, gender of the patient, then financial ability of the patient to pay, then personal choice of the patient. So these are few factors which are mainly related with the patient. But when you consider the factors which are of your concern, they are type of the cavity, whether it is class 1, class 2, class 5, or the depth of the cavity, how deep it is, and last is the knowledge of all the restorative materials, because if you have the knowledge of all the restorative materials, then only you will be able to choose the best restorative material amongst the materials which are available. So this is in short about restorative materials. Thank you so much.